Live from the Psychopathic Hatchet Office Center in Detroit Murderous, it's Hatchet Action News. This is Weekly, Freekly Weekly, your up-to-the-minute source for all Hatchet news. With your Action News team, Guy Gorfie, Fats Pepper, and with sports, Big Dick Martindale. Good evening, juggalos and juggalettes. I'm Fats Pepper.
And I'm Guy Gorfie.
And this is Hatchet Action News. Our top story tonight, Blaze. Colton Grundy, your dead homie, on the road nationwide. That's right, from Philadelphia to Costa Rica, Blaze Your Dead Homie is launching, setting out the Tombstone Terror Tour. 7 semi-trucks, 14 passengers in 11 tour buses, and production enough to make the Pope weep. Blaze's tour is 6 weeks long, and tickets are available right now, and it's underway as we speak, Guy.
The much anticipated Blaze Tombstone Tour will also feature the likes of the newest Psychopathic roster member, Boondocks. As I said before, Boondocks did rip an asshole into the stage of the Gathering of the Juggalos, and now if you weren't at the participant there, you will be able to see him live with your own spectacles. Also joining the stage with Boondocks and Blaze will be none other than Psychopathic's A&B. Ex-Murder Boys will be gracing the stage along with the Booney Docs himself and Colton the Grundy.
Also on this fabulous tour, just now signing to participate is Low Key, not the wrestler who takes himself way too seriously, but in fact the MC, the masterful microphone technician, will be on the tour joining A&B, Boondocks, and of course, Colton.
Now perhaps you were there, perhaps you weren't. If you weren't, you're a fucking asshole. If you were, kudos to you, because you enjoyed much fun at the Gathering 06. The 7th annual Gathering of the Juggalos that took place in Columbus, Ohio, the Lotus Fields. In attendance at the Lotus Field were none other than 6,527 ninjas, juggalos, and juggalettes with moist neddens. Attendance was very positive and uplifting to the Scarapura of Kapahula. Fats.
Mother Nature has its own funny way of flicking your scrotum from time to time, as she did Wednesday night in Columbus, Ohio at the Lotus Fields when she unleashed a massive 5-scale Richter monsoon upon the grounds of the gathering. However, it was not enough to stop the pride and the love of the Juggalos. Yes, the monsoon and tsunami was deafening and threatening, launching Juggalos underneath the water, under their campsites where Juggalos needed snorkels, scuba gear, and fish fins to survive. But yet, Billy Bill, Psychopathic Hatchet CEO and president, quickly snapped into action using the old dome piece. He employed 75 armored gravel trucks to come flying in from all directions, laying brand new gravel roads on top of the water. Also, fields of wheat and hay were laid on top of the water, creating a soft bed of flotation, if you will. All in all, by Saturday morning, you hadn't even known it's sprinkled. Billy Bill's quick wit thinking was just what the Hatchet needed, was just what the Juggalos needed, because, as I said, Guy, by Saturday morning, the sun and Billy Bill's wits had completely dried the gathering grounds, and once again, it was a summer as festivities went off without a hitch, and the rest of the weekend was absolutely splendid. Oh, fuck it. The entire weekend was absolutely fucking glorifying.
No gorilla monsoon could take down the Gathering this year, that's for sure. Thursday night, opening night of the Gathering, opening ceremonies, Dark Lotus, that's right, Jay, Shags, Monoxide, Mono, if you will, that's what I like to call him, Madrox, and Blaze Your Dead Homie form the supergroup Dark Lotus. They took the stage and not only made every single juggalo in attendance pass out from flavor, they reawoke them by shouting verbal insults of wisdom into their faces. That was Thursday night, the opening ceremonies, which was a spectacle none other than anything else you've ever seen in your whole fucking life. Also, later on that night, in the wee hours of the morning, if you will, at the Bomb House, the notorious ruthless drive-by experts, Psychopathic Rider, they hit the stage at the Bomb House. That's right. They pulled up in their lowriders, in their big black trucks, in their private black jets as well, parachuting out onto the stage, pulling out their array of guns and blunt objects, murdering the crowd into oblivion. There was no more mud on the floor that night, Fats. It was pure blood. Blood covered the floor knee-deep, as far as Eddie Juggalo's eyes could see, because the Psychopathic Riders took the microphones. Not only did they take them, they shoved them up assholes, leaving every Juggalo stunned and surprised. Also, Thursday night, very earlier, a very surprise little ditty done by Boondocks. That's right. Boondocks himself. Friday night, he hit the stage in utter and total amazement to every Juggalo who didn't know when he was going to hit the stage, but Friday was his time to shine, my friends. He hit the stage, he grabbed the mic, and he choked it so fucking hard, words came out of it, and expressed their wisdom into each and every earlobe of each Juggalo in attendance, who then immediately popped boners and wetted their panties. Nobody knew what to think when Boondock spit his verbal wisdom into the mic and across in waves of the Juggalos. Later on that Friday evening, Blaze Your Dead Homie took the stage. Not only did he take the stage, he stole the stage. He stole the spotlight, he stole the show. He began vigorously moonwalking so hard he burnt a hole into the floor and fell through to the gravel itself. In which case, he started digging, like a dog style, through the floor, under the gravel, into the crowd of Juggalos who formed a circle and began windmilling vigorously all over, at which point Blaze took control of the situation, broke their legs off, and beat him on the neck and face repeatedly. After he got done with that, he did the worm back up onto the stage, finished his set, leaving the whole crowd stunned, amazed, and in complete awe of his stellar performance.
And on Saturday, Twisted, Monoxide, and Madrox took to the stage, performing a medley of classics, future hits, current projects, demos, specials, and revised remixes, much to the sweetening delight of the ears of the people in attendance. Twisted rocked the thousands and thousands of Twisted Juggalos in attendance and brought with them panic, sheer, utter panic, in a much delighted way. Also, Sunday, ICP took to the stage, both of them, and they brought with them several, digging deep into the catalogs of the clowns. They brought with them songs that many people knew. They performed classic cuts many might not have heard before. They threw out some jams some people think they might have heard or caught wind of. And also they performed tunes that everybody knew and sang along with. It was beautiful. The set also included a short 5-minute solo from Shaggy 2 Dope on the Obe, which was a wonderful, wonderful piece of music. It was a great time all in all. The festivities, the fires, the riots. It was absolutely fucking Guy. Oh, let's jump right into a commercial break.
Juggalos and Juggalettes, Psychopathic Records presents the Tombstone Terror Tour featuring live in concert Blaze.
There's nowhere to stay. Your life is slowly.
Also, live in concert for the very first time, the Scarecrow makes his debut. Boondocks
Cannot be saved.
with super special guest, the Asper Boy.
Back to this day, that man is still alive. He lives
Also, special appearance by Low Key.
with a nursery rhyme. He's the dead. But he walks among
The Tombstone Terror Tour underway right now.
Young, dying, unstoppable, dead man. You'll know. But your death is coming. You'll know. There's nowhere to escape. You'll know. Your life is slowly.
Check for tour dates near you at blaze.psychopathicrecords.com. Boondocks, Psychopathic Records' newest recording artist from the backwoods of Newton County, Georgia.
I can hear them screaming through the forest at night. They play with snakes and they poison my mind.
Boondocks' debut album, The Harvest, available right now. And available right now at hatchetgear.com.
Guy?
Let's talk about Twisted. Not only let's talk about Twisted, let's talk about ID, Independence Day. That's right, the highly anticipated record that is soon to be released here on Psychopathic Records. The anticipation is so high through the roof, I can't wait. It's gonna be an awesome display, my fuckers. You wait and see. Independence Day has a slew of independent recording artists, such as Master P, such as Too Short, and a whole slew of many more. We recently had the pleasure of sitting down with Twisted to discuss the Independence Day project, and here's what Jamie Madrox and Monoxide, or perhaps one or the other, had to say.
We're dabbling with a lot of stars, if you will, that usually don't frolic and frequent with the likes of the underground in which you and I and everybody at Psychopathic usually rubs elbows with. You ain't gotta be mainstream and you ain't gotta be all conforming to the powers of all the mighty buildings that hang out in New York and LA that are full of blue collar and white collar people that don't give a fuck about your product, and being independent is the way to go.
Independence Day is of most importance and priorityism here at Psychopathic Records, and we recently had a chance to sit down with one of the producers on ID Independence Day, and he gave us more knowledge, more in-depth attitude about the record and what direction Twisted is actually headed on this mass commercial appeal album with several tastes and styles. Fritz gave us these gentle, kind words of enlightenment about the record.
The multitude of guest stars that are on it, because obviously that's the whole gimmick of the album, is to have every song featuring a different independent artist. And it's also got a veritable host of different producers on it. So it'll have all kinds of different sounds, different vocal stylings, and it'll just be fresh as hell.
Enchanting words from Frizzle the Kizzle. We had the pleasure of taking time out of this busy man's schedule. Bud, the warehouse worker, here's what he had to say about ID Independence Day.
Independence Day I ain't heard it. No.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, I myself cannot wait for that CD, because I just want to pop it in and bump. Well, I know a lot of you have been wondering what took place at the gathering with sports. I say we find out by talking to the Big Dick. Big Dick Martindale, take us away with sports, bud.
Thanks, fellas. Hey, we got those results, and those results are real big, and I gotta tell you, it's starting off with the very first match, much to the surprise of all the 9,777 juggalos that were in attendance. The head shrinkers in the fatal four-way, I'm talking about Samu and Alofa, beat Too Tough Tony, Corporal Robinson, that's right, the Juggalo tag team, the Bumpin' Uglies, the weirdos with the fucking masks, and the Powers of Pain in the fatal four-way, that's right, Samu and Alofa were victorious in that big match. Also on the show, the Rude Boy, the JCW Hardcore Champion Rude Boy, and Kevin Sullivan butted heads to a no-contest bloodbath. Well, Rude Boy did most of the bleeding, but he refused to give up. Every time Sullivan called for the bell, told referee A.T. Huck, get this fucking guy out of here. No way, Juggalos. Rude Boy kept getting up, standing up, standing up. Next thing you know, they'd walk out together as a tag team. That's right, Kevin Sullivan and Rude Boy, now collectively known as the Hardcore Tag Team. That's right. Now, in the main event, much to the shock of the 9,522 juggalos that were in attendance, the Mushroom Boys, Ponderosa and Sweetenhouse from Stranglemania, and the JCW World Champion, the Madman Pondo, beat Violent J, Nozawa, and Vampiro in a six-man tag team war. Saturday's results were just as wild as Friday's, when the new hardcore tag team, I'm talking about the Taskmaster, Kevin Sullivan, and his new tag team partner, the JCW Hardcore Champion, the Rude Boy, beat Ponderosa and Sweetenhouse, the Mushroom Boys. You want to talk about a bloodbath? Blood was spilled all over the Lotus Fields out there at the gathering of the Juggalos, and it was a wild brawl. But at the end, Rude Boy pinned Ponderosa for the 1, 2, and 3, and what a match that was. Also, this one was a wild one, Juggalos. The tag team of Violent J, Vampiro, and Nozawa beat Madman Pondo, the JCW World Champion, still JCW World Champion, and the Powers of Pain. And I gotta tell you, seeing Violent J lock up with the Mighty Warlord was something to see. If you weren't there, you really fucked up. And if you were there, you seen what kind of craziness happened at the gathering of the Juggalos. Hey, this Saturday, San Antonio, Texas, the Rude Boy, the JCW Hardcore Champ, will be in action at Tiffany's Billiards and Sports Grill on San Pedro Avenue this Saturday, August the 5th. If you want to see him live, come out and check him out. And we will be having footage right here on the Freekly Weekly of his match against the Necro Butcher in the steel cage. Also, next week, right here on the Freekly Weekly, yours truly, Big Dick Martindale, has news on the release of the DVD Stranglemania. That's right, the historic Stranglemania on DVD. More information coming up next week right here on Hatchet Action News. Now remember, for all of your sports needs, there's only one place to look. Look for the Big Dick. Big Dick Martindale, Hatchet Action News. We'll return after these words.
Psychopathic Records presents Bones Dub, OT, known as AMB, the Axe Murder Boys. Their new Hatchet debut album, Blood In, Blood Out, featuring 14 new head-cracking cuts, also featuring ICP, Twisted, Blaze, and Boondocks. Blood In, Blood Out is available now at all of your local retail outlets. Also available at hatchetgear.com.
Psychopathic Records proudly presents
Imagine the
Shaggy 2 Dope, Violent J, The Wicked Clowns Hollow Wicked Tour. The Insane Clown Posse hit the road for the first time in over 2 years. Experience the insanity live in your face. Shaggy 2 Dope and Violent J, The Wicked Clowns live. It's Hollow Wicked 2006.
Extravagant yet shocking, but tantalizing yet fulfilling news. Recently just undiscovered, ICP will be hitting the road. Not just normally hitting the road, but on their very first nationwide ICP Hollow Wicked Clown Tour. That's right, ICP will be hitting the road the last week of September, going all the way till Halloween night on their annual Hollow Wicked Tour. Now, they've done shows in the past on Halloween, but they were not tours. This is a nationwide tour, so you might want to strap your panties on extra tight for this one because they will be splooging out many stains of plenty. Now, ICP will be on the road with many special guests, those of whom's names have not been yet released. Who are they? We don't know, you don't know. As soon as we find out, you'll find out. All you have to do is stay tuned to the Hatchet Action News Weekly, Freekly, Weekly for the next edition to find out those names. For everybody here at Hatchet Action News, I'm Guy Gorfie.
And I'm Fats Pepper, and for Big Dick Martindale, this has been Hatchet Action News Weekly, Freekly, Weekly, slapping the news upside your bitch ass. So, did the stain come out of your panties?
I'll tell you what, OxyClean isn't all that's cracked up to be.
No, no.
The stain is still there, unfortunately, yet it doesn't stink anymore.
Did you try Bill Martin's orange scrub?
Yes, the orange dye worked very well, but yet, like I said, the stain's still there.
Any advice, Dick?
That's what happens when you fuck with animals.
I tried to tell myself that, and look what I did.